Well, how do you like living in the Doge? Well, it certainly has, people in Washington are certainly paying attention because a lot of people are losing their jobs. And that's sort of the buzz here in Washington. But as a whole, I'm not as worried. I'm worried about the cruelty of, ripping the rug out of people about their jobs. But as far as, I'm really interested in government programs, so people know about what government programs are available that they could use to improve their life, and that's what government is there for. And right or wrong, it's there, and people use it. And they're giving out more than ever before. And as far as the programs do, that people could take advantage of and still take advantage of, no matter what they do. Recently, I guess, in Washington, but that story isn't over yet. And for the 2025, they're still going to give out, to individuals $4.8 trillion. That's how much is going to go out in 2025, and that's an average of 18,767 per person. So in this year, that's how much they're going to give out to the average person. And what I worry about more is what the future is going to be like. I mean, now they're just nibbling at the edges, and so it really doesn't make a whole lot of difference. So if you have things to do in life and want to know about government programs or government benefits, and these are benefits, because you live in America, you have access to all these benefit programs, okay? And no matter who you are, what color, what age, what height, or anything, that it's access to everybody that's here. Some are for only residents, and that's true, but there's a whole lot that's not. And what I worry about is that we're going to start squeezing the help for the people really need it. Because it seems to me what the administration is doing is trying to cut as much fat, or feel that they're cutting as much fat out of the government so they could have their tax cut. So here's how the tax cut goes. The tax cut, like the last one he does, he wants to do it again because it runs out this year. But not all of it runs out. It still continues for other people, for the rich people, actually. The tax cut is stopped for the small people. Now, here's how the last tax cut helped people, okay? So 52% of the tax cut went to the top 10% of people in the country. So in other words, the top 10% people of the country got 52% of I think $1.5 trillion. So that's why you see, if we're paying people that money, that means it's less money to spend on other things. So the deficit is very important, and we're in deficit up to our keisters, and this administration is really after his tax cut so he could get his base or his rich friends, the rich people, more money from the government. So it seems that that's what's happening. I mean, and I'm not an expert at this. I just been following government programs and see where the money goes. So he has to afford this, because to get through this through Congress, he's going to increase the debt for a year like $1.5 trillion. And we only have a $6 trillion budget. So you're going to add another $1.5 trillion, and 50% of it goes to the top 10%, and then 30% of it goes to the next 10%. So 80% of that $1.5 trillion goes to the top 20% of our country. So that's why he's got to justify that somehow to get it through Congress to pass a new one. Because this is what it was, and he wants the same thing again. And this is who gets happy. So all the people who really need it aren't going to see anything at all, or hardly anything at all. And they're the people, excuse me, they're the people who really need the money, not the top 20%. They're doing very well. And here is why I feel they're doing well, because incomes for people in this country, the bottom 90% of incomes for the last 45 or 50 years have only increased 30%. The top people increased 200-300%. So why are we worried about getting money to these people when it's these people who are suffering? You know, so I don't understand that. I'm sure they have a reason, and I'm sure we'll hear about it. And the problem why these people are suffering down there is because the government, inflation has gone up almost 300% in the last 50 years. But incomes for the 90% of the population has only gone up 30%. So your income's raising 30%, prices are raising 300%. That means you're screwed, right? You're never gonna get ahead of the game. And so why are we taking our money and investing it in the top 10%? When it's the bottom 90% are getting further and further and further behind. So that doesn't make any sense to me. It may to somebody, if you ignore that and want to go only after. And see, the thing is, I think 90%, everybody in our country should be aware of this. Should be, should share in our, here's, I was looking for this one. Okay. The country's growing, the GDP, okay, this is the gross national product. So all the money in our country is growing. So it grew, 300%, okay? So the money grew for 300%, but incomes of the bottom 90% only grew 30%. So you have the money in our country is growing. We're a profitable country. We're growing at 300%, but 90% of us only saw their incomes grow at 30%. So why doesn't everybody's income grow? It used to be that way in the 40s and 50s and 60s, but then it stopped. And what's happening is all the income productivity, in our country is going to a select few. And 90% of us aren't getting much. And I think that's why people are pissed. I don't think it's politics, it's money. And who's getting the money? But now, these people are so smart now in the White House, they want more money for the rich people. That's why the rich know. It used to be a joke back in Reagan said, the joke is, I'm from the government and I'm here to help you. That used to be a joke. That's not a joke. That's what the government's for. My family was wiped out by a hurricane back in the 70s. And if it wasn't for the government, man, the business and house and everything would have gone. So that's what it's for seniors, for all these people that need help in our country. Why is that wrong? And why, who knows it's not wrong to go for the government to help is the top 10%. That's what they keep going to the government for, is for more money. Why are the people standing behind the president all billionaires? Because they know this is the best place to get money. So why aren't they ashamed of getting money from the government? Why aren't they smart enough to develop a new product or something like that to make money? No, they have to go to the government and kiss ass in the government to get more money out of the government. Why? Isn't that supposed to be bad, according to these people? They want to get people not getting money from the government who really need it. Why do they need it? Because incomes, they're not paying wages to satisfy the increase in cost of living. When the income in our society is going up, in the last 30 years, so the country grew 300%, but 90% of us only saw their income grow 30%. Who got the rest, right? Certainly not the bottom 90%, right? So they're taking money from our government that we live and work for and contribute to the country and keeping all the toys for the rich people. So that's why the rich people know that saying that Ronald Reagan used to use as a joke, I'm from the government and I'm here to help you. If you're a billionaire, right? That's true. Another new program, and this is for both This is a Democrat program that came out during Biden that gives money out to fix up your house if you're to have a lower utility bills. So they give out $8 billion in 2023. That's the latest information that there's data for. And the top 25% got $5.5 billion, and the bottom 25% didn't even get $1 billion. So I would think the bottom 25% of the people really need money to cut their utility bill. I don't think the top 25% is worried about paying their utility bills, but they're getting all the money. They're getting like 65% of all the money. And the bottom 25% are getting 1% of the money. So that's why I'm from the government and I'm here to help you. I think that's going more to the rich. Everybody complains about, oh, food stamps are more. Yeah, because cost of living is up 300%. So what do you want to do? You want people to starve? Yeah. Well, why are we doing all this supposedly cutting waste, fraud, and abuse to save debt? And what we're doing is so we have money to pay billionaires, I guess. I mean, tell me that's wrong. That's what it seems to me. I mean, they have, they're getting everything now. Why do they need more? Because they know the government now. And they know they could get more. It seems if they believe in capitalism, why don't they go out and earn the money? No, they want to go to Washington and get it easier, right? And to me, the government is sort of like part of your church. The church helps people, right? Nonprofit organizations help people that need help. And the government helps things that the nonprofits can't, for-profits can't do. What capitalism can't do, the government should do, right? And that's what we have a government for. We decide, okay, people should have education so they could get better jobs and make more money and have the economy grow and things like that. So the government will pay for education, right? Healthcare, if you're sick, we can't have you sick because you got to work and make money in capitalism. And so we spend double on healthcare than any other country in the world, double, and get worse outcomes. We pay the most for healthcare, and we're the fattest country in the world. We have the shortest lifespan in all the developed countries. We have more death at births. All our data shows that you get shitty health here, and you're paying twice as much. Now, if this was capitalism, you'd go to another country, but it's not as easy as that. So that's what I worry about with the Doge. It's not what they're doing now. That's all. He's certainly causing a lot of pain, but it's mainly to get headlines. And make it look like he's saving a lot of money, which he hasn't saved a penny yet in all this stuff. And most of what he's proposed is illegal according to the judges that have seen it. And he'll probably fight that to the death because later on in this thing, he's going to go after another trillions of dollars to give most of it to the rich. Okay, this is how the last Trump tax cut was. 58% went to the top 10%, 30% went to the next 10%. So this is the top 20% of people got 80% of the money. They don't even need it. Yeah. These people can't pay their bills. Why aren't we helping them? And I think we should help them with wages. Because wages is it, not a tax cut. They don't need a tax cut. Most of them don't even make enough money to pay taxes. This is it. They need money to have a higher income so they could pay their grocery bills. You know, in 50 years, if the consumer price index went up 300%, but wages for 90% of us only went up 30%, nobody could afford to live. You know, if you could call that politics if you want, anything you want to call it is fine. But I think it's just being screwed. You're playing a game and you think you'll be getting the rewards if you're contributing to that. And why is someone's contribution more than the other ones? It's obviously somebody's Joey, I got something for you. Maybe I find it right here. There's a bunch of people in Wisconsin, yeah, that helps businesses, okay? These are about 8 new organizations that help businesses with any kind of problem. So here's another list to contact, Joey. I know you're in Wisconsin and still fighting that monster of a debt. Okay, call each one and see how they could help you, okay, Joey? Okay, yeah, I was collecting these new things, and let me tell you, let me put the whole list here for people. New items I found today. So that's why the rich people know it's true. I'm from the government and I'm here to help you. That's what the government is doing, helping the hell out of rich people. And the rest of society is squeezing the average, or 90% of the people, I guess it shows. I mean, all of these are certainly debatable. Benny, how are you, Benny? Okay. Charity. Charity, give me a text or something, or email with your phone number. I want to ask you about something, okay? There's nothing that important, just someone bounce off you, okay? And that will be good. Let's see, Joey. Okay, I'm in social equity application in the Los Angeles DRC program. I'd like to apply for a cannabis grant. I'm a social, okay, do you have the information, Angela? I mean, if you need help for that, if you are in Los Angeles, I would go and find one of the nonprofits in your area. So if you go to SBA.gov/local assistance, okay? And talk to a few of those about getting help. No, I don't. No, I don't. Yeah, so it's okay. So there's the app, and find local nonprofits and talk to 2 or 3 of them. Tell them you're interested in applying to this program, so they should know about it. And at least, ask more if they don't. Keep trying. That's knocking on doors. Your style is fly. It took me a long time to figure out what the fuck is people care. Tell me I'm fly. Am I going to fly away? What is it? Okay, I put in the links there, and actually I'm going to do it in. You're watching me on YouTube. I'm going to put in all these items here on YouTube. And actually, the people, if they hear me talk about this, they think I'm, what do you call it, political or something. No, I mean, I worry about government programs and that people apply to government programs. And that is my mission. So I got to keep an eye on that. And I think it's my job to do that. And what's happening to them and why. So if that sounds political, I'm sorry. That's the best I could do. You have reasons to say that I'm not right. That's fine. This is what it's all about. It's trying to listen to each other. Let's see, what am I after on YouTube, right? YOUTUBE. Huh? But no, I mean, I consider myself independent because I think belong to any party is sort of like gluttony. You just see the same answers all the time to everything. And I think both parties have good answers to certain things. And that's why it's sort of unintellectual to just be a glutton on just one answer to everything. So that's why. Let's see, where am I? Okay, no, I know. I want to get these links to people who are on YouTube. Make sure you know about these links I'm going to talk to you about in a little bit. Okay. That's important. So there's let's go, and there's okay. So now it's on YouTube. So if you're watching me on TikTok, you got to get over to YouTube to see these links, okay? I don't know how to do it while I'm live on TikTok. So that's a little tough for me, sorry. So I'm illiterate, or IT illiterate. I'm stuck, living in housing, and every time I start to get ahead, my help is ripped out from under me. I live in Texas and can not get ahead. Okay, I love the Let's Go family. Thank you, Joey. Well, Liz, okay. What I would start doing, look at our, work on your goals, achieve your goals section. And I think what you want to do, if you have all the, look on how to fix your bills and find your bills. Item number 1 and achieve your goals. Go there and start making an appointment with the HUD counselor so you don't get in debt anymore and you solve your debt problem. So that's the point. And then you, Liz, it's easy to start a bookkeeping business. I don't think you need money, but that's biased, and I'll tell you why in a minute. My dear Let's Go family, I'm going to send you love and blessings. Thank you, Michelle. Michelle, I'd like to talk to you. I have a question I want to bounce by you. So you can email me with a phone number and sort of good times to call you would be nice, if that's at all available. But don't worry if you're too busy. But, okay, so you want to get out of Liz. Okay, we're now Liz in Texas. Okay, make an appointment. Okay, or actually, if you want to just go straight to HUD.gov/counseling. Okay, you want to go there first, make an appointment, so you get straight with all your unlock your goals. That's the name. I can't remember that goddamn thing. I worked on goals on Monday, and we'll be making an appointment. Good. Okay, so you want to do that. Now, the next place you want to do is go to Career One Stop. Okay, you go to careeronestop.org, put in your zip code, and make an appointment, because what you want to talk to them about is how to make more income. You need more income to live. And so that's why you start going over with them ways for you to make more income. And that's what they're specialists over. But don't forget, everybody's not great at everything, and we all have bad parts and everything. So you have to have a backup plan, because they may or may not work. And what you want to do is go to Find Help. What's your zip code in Dallas? Liz? Dallas. What's your zip code in Dallas? What's your zip code? What's your zip code? Liz, what's your zip code? You're in Dallas, or maybe not in Dallas? Yes, we're on gold. Okay, yeah, you are in Dallas. Okay. Okay, 79553. Now, this is going to take a little more work, but you go to findhelp.org. Okay, and you put in your zip code, 79553. Okay, and now you put in job training. Okay, after you get in your zip code, then you put in job training up in the search bar, and there's 147 nonprofit organizations and government offices that help with job training. Now, unfortunately, Liz, it's going to be a pain in the ass, okay? And there's no way out of this, okay? Besides being a pain in the ass. I mean, if it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. But you have to realize, okay, I'm going to do this, it's going to be a pain in the ass. And you start calling as many of those 147 programs as you can. Being a school teacher is not paying my bill, okay? Well, this is more important then. Why to talk to them? You're looking for a higher income. That's what these people are, okay? And to help you get the training and whatever you need, to get a higher income. And you just call as many people as you can. Nothing is easy in life. Exactly. It's all a pain in the ass. And that's why you have to be working on things that you think is important. If your life is important, then you should work on it. And you don't have to know exactly where you're going, because you don't know until you find it and you work at it and you try a bunch of things that didn't work until you get there. And it's all about failure. You have to just keep going and trying different things. So if you know what you're doing now, in other words, what your life is now is wrong, then anything you do different than this is good. Remember that. Anything different is good. Even though it doesn't look perfect or anything, you still have to do that, because that's how you build what really becomes right. You have to date a lot of idiots before you find the right one. And you say, oh, all people are idiots. They're not. You just haven't found it yet, and you have to do the work to do it. And that's what's important. So please, Liz, you're smart, you've been contributing to society as a teacher. That's a wonderful goal. Find people that help you with that career decision, and they're all nonprofit. Do not go to Google. If you go to Google, you're going to find people there will help you. They're going to charge you money. You don't have money. This is why you're a problem. You have money. So it's silly to throw money at something when you don't have it, because you want to get more money. So it's sort of like making a bigger hole when there's already a hole in the boat and the water's coming in. You don't put more water in. I will send an email. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Yeah, and times a day is good to talk. So that's important to do. Let's see, Angela, what's it? Thank you for the information. I was referring to the 500,000 cannabis grant. Yes, okay, yeah. Yeah, well, no, I understand. Well, if that's it, you're in Los Angeles, right? Is that I don't know. I thought you said it was. When I tell you about a grant, it is somewhere. I don't know if that was in Los Angeles or not. So people who will know are those people, those nonprofit organizations in Los Angeles that helps you get money for anything. So you call them up and ask, you're looking to get in the cannabis industry, okay? And they should know about it. If they don't, you call a couple of those people, because certain people know different things. So don't trust on one person knowing everything. You have to spread the knowledge around and the help that's available. Are there programs in Chicago that will help me home that can be rehabbed? Yes, yes, okay? If you go to, what was that thing again? Benny told me, unlock your goals. I gotta change that. No, I don't. If that's helpful to everybody, then, I'm so goddamn old. Don't try to please me, Benny. Unlock your goals. Go to unlock your goals and look at buying a home. Now there, what you'll have to do is there's about 7 organizations you have to call in Chicago to find out what is available for you to do that. And I forgot rehab that I can. Yes, I mean there are programs out there. They're not, they're not ubiquitous. They're not everywhere, and they're not obvious. So that's why you have to dig at it. They're there. I see them all the time because I research these things all the time, and you have to find out what is available in your end. I have to go right get ready for a meeting tonight. Wishing everybody well. Thank you. Thank you, Michelle. So make sure that you contact each one of them. Try to make an appointment to talk with them. That's the important thing. If you don't talk, you don't get. I got my mortgage paid off. Wonderful. I've gotten a new furnace and refrigerator and 3 air conditioners. See, the stuff is available. Charity. Whoa. I think she knows somebody. I think she dates a lot. That's how she gets all that stuff. Are there programs for homeless? Yes. Homeless felons? Yes. In Oklahoma? Yes. Okay. If you're not a member, then go to findhelp.org. Findhelp.org. Okay. And findhelp.org. Put in your zip code, and then when you hit all the organizations in your zip code that give out free money, in that little search bar up on the top left-hand side, you put in, you just put in housing, or yeah, and see what happens. If that's too much, just start calling. You call 6 or 10 people, and you'll get zero in right to what you need. But you have to call. You call somebody that's in the housing kind of business, helping people, and they say, no, we don't do that, but you should try over here. And then you call them, and they say, no, we don't do that, but you should call over there. So the more people you call like that, the more you're gonna zero in on exactly what you need and where it is. But that doesn't happen with Google. That doesn't happen with the internet. That happens with the phone and talking to people on the phone, okay? Talking to people who spend their life solving problems like yours, okay? They've done it all before. They know all that stuff, you know? You're trying to think, you know, they spend 50 years like me. I'm gonna spend 50 years doing this, yeah? So you want to find people who spend 50 years helping people need a home. They're gonna know. And you go on Google, all you're gonna find is 200 million people want to sell you something. So you really have to stay away from Google. That's just a death trap. And it'll get out of nowhere. Okay, let me go through the items that I have in the chat for members and in the description on YouTube. Okay, okay. Tampa has $20,000 grants for home repair and mortgage payments. Okay, because of the floods and all this stuff that's going on in our country, they came up with 3 local programs. See, I'm telling you this, I know you don't live in Tampa, but I'm telling you this because this is the kind of programs that are there. You have to now find programs like this where you live. Now this program will give you $10,000 to cover insurance deductibles. So that means something happened to your house and you had a insurance to fix it up, but there was a $10,000 deductible. Well, they give you up to $10,000 to cover the deductible. Who would have thought you could ask that? You say, oh, I'm insured. Okay, well, then I can't get, no. There's money, grant money, to help you pay deductibles. Or how about $5,000 for a delinquent mortgage payment, okay? You couldn't pay a mortgage payment, same thing. Or here's another $20,000 for home repair. That's in the same office, just in one city, you know? So you keep reading the news about DOSH and cutback, all this kind of stuff. None of this stuff, this is all local stuff. Ignore that stuff because all it's going to do is scare you. That's what they want to do, is scare you. Pretend the government isn't there. It's there. It's not the way they want to do it, so they're scared the pants off you, so you don't do it. Okay, reduce your property taxes. Now this is interesting, how in Delaware, you could appeal your property taxes and pay $3,000 less. You know, property taxes are going up. Why? Because housing values are going up. So that means you've been in your house for a long time, paying a certain amount of property tax, and all of a sudden you get a bill, oh, we're increasing this by $3,000. You could appeal. Now, the studies I've seen just recently, searching this thing, 33% of the people that apply for an appeal, in other words, hey, no, you're wrong, you shouldn't do this, they win. 33% of the people win. So it's worth writing that letter. You got a 33% chance of winning. Yeah. Where else are you going to get a 33%? You know, not applying to most grants. Here you got a 33%. That's great odds. Okay. And if you have problems how to fill out that form, go to your HUD counselors, HUD.gov/counseling. They'll help you write that appeal letter. Okay. HUD.gov/counseling. Okay. Now here's a program for first-time home buyers for $50,000. This is in Massachusetts. No, I'm sorry. No, that's right. A $50,000 down payment grant for incomes up to $150,000. So everybody says, oh, I make too much money to get a grant. Bullshit. That's maybe for the program you looked at. But here's a program. They'll give you a $50,000 grant, and your income has to be below $150,000. $150,000. That's what I mean. The rich are using the hell out of these programs. They're not just, that's why all these billionaires are up in the, behind Trump, signing in as president of the United States, and three of the biggest, richest men in the country are right behind him. Why? Because they want more money from the government. That's the easiest place to do it. And then they yell at everybody else taking too much money from the government. That's crazy. What is this? This is opposite day. Why aren't they smart? They're smart enough to get $1 billion. Why aren't they smart enough to get the money they need from capitalism? They believe in capitalism so much. Why the hell are they using the government? The government, to me, should be for people who don't have money, who need that help, right? Maybe I'm wrong. And willing to listen. But it seems to me. Okay, here's another thing. This is it. You want to get out of the America? Fine. Go to Italy. Beautiful countryside homes that haven't become abandoned in the hills of Italy. Beautiful place. They have a picture of them there. And I'll have the link in there. They're giving you $80,000 grant to fix up the home and live there. $80,000 grant to fix up a home in Italy, in a nice country hillside of Italy, to live there. $80,000 grant. See, opportunities are all over. You got to open your eyes and research. Here's a Cincinnati giving cities $20,000 to help you grow your business. Okay. $20,000 to help you grow your business. That's in Cincinnati. They do that all the time. They want businesses to grow. That's why the government gives you businesses grant money. So you grow. You create a job for yourself. You create a job for other people you're going to hire. So this is why pay for you if you have to go on welfare when I can give you money to start a business and you'll never have to pay on welfare, right? So that's why they have this. Here's another thing. There's a lot of training money. Like now the member that I was helping get training because she didn't want to be a teacher anymore. Okay, here's a 7-week course with stipends. They give you some stipends to become a chef. And this is for career changers. Man, I'd rather be in the restaurant business than doing whatever the hell I'm doing behind a computer. So 7-week free course on that. Now, this is in Indiana, but it's all over. And if you want to find out things like this where you live, 2 places. You go to careeronestop.org and you make an appointment with your local Career One Stops. They're in every county. So you careeronestop.org, call your local county office, make an appointment to talk to somebody there. And then go to findhelp.org and put in your zip code and then put in job training. Like for the person in Texas I just told you about, we found 150 organizations in her zip code that give free job training. Don't need a college degree, maybe a few you do, but 90% of these programs do not require a college degree. A lot of them maybe give you money, serious money, like up to $40,000 a year or more to train for a job, getting $100,000. Now that's cool. Now here's an interesting thing is, the government is giving money to nonprofit organizations to give you money. See, well, a lot of government money goes to nonprofit organizations, which in turn then goes to individuals where they live and to help them. So individuals, to give them money, to give them help. Now here, for entrepreneurs in Wisconsin, there's 8 new grants out. There's a group that's getting $100,000, and they have venture training, a 20-week virtual cohort experience held twice a year for small businesses with a focus on serving businesses led by women and traditionally underserved businesses. Okay, so that means you have a 20-week virtual course you could get for free, and maybe they have stipends and things like that. They got a grant to give you this course for free. And particularly if you're a woman or in a low-income entrepreneur. Okay, here's something called the Luber Entrepreneurship Center. That's part of the University of Wisconsin in Milwaukee. To advance innovation and entrepreneurship across the university and throughout the Milwaukee community. It plans to use the grant funds to support various entrepreneurial assistance activities related to artificial intelligence. So that means if you're in Milwaukee, you're interested in starting a business in something to do with artificial intelligence, here's a special program that you don't have to pay for to learn and help you get money and help to start a business using artificial intelligence. How are you going to find that? You'll never find it in Google. You'll get 200 million websites, and none of them will be this. Okay, here's another one. It's called Biz Starts Milwaukee. They got $200,000, and they offer a variety of educational programming. It will spend in 2025 and offer programming in Racine and Kenosha entrepreneurs and create 2 new programs, Entrepreneur in Resident program and a bi-weekly power circles. Now this is, so they're getting entrepreneurs together. Entrepreneurs don't have to pay anything because they got a grant to offer this for free. Starting Block Madison. They will use their $200,000 grant to run a comprehensive series of pre-accelerator and accelerator programming throughout October in 2025, okay? So that's later this year. The programming will focus on sectors that are key to Wisconsin economy, including advanced manufacturing, food and beverage, agriculture, and sustainability. So they have $200,000 to help you develop a business to one of these: manufacturing, food and beverage, agriculture, and sustainability. Here's the Food Finance Institute. These are all nonprofit organizations that give grants so they could give you money and help to start your business. Okay, so the Food Finance Institute, their focus, help food-focused businesses develop sustainable, investable business models, good financial practices, and the connections needed to grow and thrive. It offers training, resources, tools, coaching through a collaborative network of partners in the food and beverage industry. The grant funds will be used to facilitate the Food Finance Fellows Program. See, they even finance these things. So that's they got $190 million. Here's the Rock County Jumpstart Beloit. I'm not sure what it is. Operates as a fiscally sponsored project in the Center of Community Stewardship. Its aim is to help Black and Latino entrepreneurs with STEM knowledge to launch innovative businesses that address emerging market demands. The grant funds will allow organizations to develop STEM curriculum tailored to startups and emerging entrepreneurs and establish a workforce where startups can create, innovate, and build projects. And it goes on and on. Well, this is a foundation which does business as a hub coalition to use grant funds to continue a solution. It's an incubator. Incubator means is that's where they take you with a business idea, give you all the money and help and expertise to work on that idea so they grow it. See, the government wants you to grow a business. And it's like that in every city in this country. But you don't know. Why? Because you're using Google. You'll never find these in Google because they don't advertise. So get on a Google. Do the sources I'm talking about and talk to only people with a .gov or a .org. Org means nonprofit. Gov means government, means they'll never ask you for money. .com, which is in Google, they always ask you for money because they got to pay Google. So you got to give them money so they could pay Google and find you. These other people don't do that. So I hope this helps. By the way, if you're looking for Let's Go help, go to letsgodollar.com. For now, in the next 4 days until the 25th, we have a special offer for $1. You could join us and get 5 days of unlimited one-on-one help to apply to every grant you're eligible for. And it ends on the 25th of this month, and you get 5 days from the day you join. So whatever day you join, you have 5 days to get all the information and get out of there before we charge you $20 a month, okay? So 5 days, $1 for 5 days for all the help you need to apply to every grant you're eligible for. Thank you, Matt, one of the winners. Oh, nice, Janice. don't forget about the Elton John backstage event. Don't know what that is. You have so much sugar in your tank. That's why you are acting like this. No, I just enjoy what I do. You make it so much sugar. Oh, you haven't tried, and you haven't tried. You call them. How as being. Thank you, Charity. Well, yeah, I mean, people are going to beat you up no matter what you do in this country. That's what freedom of speech is about, right? But remember, apply. That's what it's all about. And stay out of Google. If you're looking for help and you can't pay our dollar, then go to findhelp.org. You put in your zip code and find a lot of free help, and then call. Call people on the phone, ask them for help, and if they can't help you, ask them where else to go to get help, okay? That's the important thing. You ask to help, you ask to ask for help, or you don't get any, right? Right.